ADHD brings with it a lot of other problems, and one of those are eating disorders. And have you wondered why children with ADHD sometimes just snack all the time? They're constantly hungry. They want to eat, 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 eat. Almost this impulsivity to eat. And what is quite dramatic that I see is when children are managed and treated for their other symptoms of ADHD, like the impulsivity, their concentration, the busyness, the motivation. It's amazing how it actually helps treat their sort of impulsive need to eat. ADHD, part of ADHD is this inability to control your emotions, your gratification, wanting something right now for very little effort. You don't want to control what you really want, put in a little bit more effort and be able to get a bigger reward. You know, they've done amazing research where they got a whole lot of children in a room and they timed children how long it took them if they were left alone with a candy bar to pick up and eat it. And they compared children with ADHD and who didn't. Well, you can certainly guess who picked up the candy bar first. That's true. You know, they're unable to suppress and control the urges to get what they want immediately. And that is also a big problem long term. ADHD also has a problem with being time blind. It's almost as though they don't have a sense of time. They don't think about the future. They don't think about the consequences of what they do. And just think about the consequences of not thinking about, if you're snacking, eating, the consequences. Your health, what you're going to do. You're going to gain weight and you're going to become overweight. That doesn't seem to enter the mind of a lot of children with ADHD because they don't see the consequences. They don't see what's going to happen. All they're interested in is now. All they're interested in is what they see. And rewards. ADHD children have a problem in the front of the brain, which is your frontal cortex, which is lacking the neurotransmitter dopamine. It's almost like brake fluid. It doesn't have enough brake fluid to calm it down and suppress its urges. And sugar, unfortunately, is like kryptonite for someone with ADHD. It really kind of releases that dopamine. It's almost like they're treating themselves. So anybody with ADHD seems to be almost addicted to sugar and binge eating because it makes them feel good. It's almost though they are treating themselves. The other ways people with ADHD treat themselves or self-treat themselves is with caffeine. It's an alternative treatment. It's almost kind of doing the job that the medication should be doing to help them. So if somebody with ADHD is not being treated and they don't have that dopamine control in the front of their brain, what they want to do is they want to eat because it makes them feel good. They're actually treating themselves. Binge eating is a form of ADHD treatment. Other types of treatment would be exercise. They know that if they exercise, it gives them a rush in the front of the brain, they release this dopamine, and they feel much better and in control. That's why children with ADHD like to move. They're busy. They are thrill seekers because they actually kind of make themselves feel good. They also like to sometimes get involved in arguments, get involved in emotional conflicts because it releases dopamine, makes them feel good. And that's one of the reasons why there are eating disorders with ADHD, because in a way the food is like medication for them when they should be being treated properly with proper medication and a proper assessment.